The Great Depression lasted from 1929 to 1939, and it began with the stock market crash in October of 1929. It wiped out millions of investors, and 12.9 million shares were traded that day, which was Black Thursday. And then that Tuesday, which was known as Black Tuesday, was there was another 16 million shares that were traded in a wave of panic on Wall Street. Consumer spending and investment dropped, which caused steep declines in industrial output, and employment levels rose as companies failed and laid off more workers over the next several years. So a lot of people lost their jobs and the employment rates were higher. In 1933, when the Great Depression reached its peak, there were 13 to 15 million Americans who were unemployed, and almost half of the U.S.'s banks failed. The number of foreclosures and repossessions increased. Farmers struggled and drought and falling food prices. They couldn't afford to harvest their crops, so they left them rotting in fields while people were starving. So that kind of sucked. Hoover's administration tried to support banks with government loans in hope that the banks would loan to businesses and in return would hire back the people they fired. By March 4th, 1933, all remaining banks in the U.S. were shut down, and FDR, who was president at the time, helped lessen the effects of the Great Depression by remaining calm and optimistic, so that really helped the people calm down too. One of his famous quotes from a speech that he gave was, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself," which it helped restore public opinion or public confidence by stabilizing industrial and agricultural production, create jobs, and stimulate recovery. Programs that aided in recovery were the TVA, WPA, and SSA. And the economy began improving once again in 1938. And then war broke out in Europe against Hitler in 1939. And then Roosevelt chose to support Britain and France against Germany and the other Axis powers. And then preparing for war helped people take their minds off of the hard times and the Great Depression and all that happening. And it gave employment to people. They helped make things for the war and prepare for the war. And people had to ration things like gas and help contribute to the war. And the women had to take over the men's jobs when they went to war, so this helped them feel like they were, they were important, and they had a feeling of importance that they didn't have before. So this was a big cultural change for the Great Depression. So that's it.